Okay, so let's continue from where we left. We were talking about dictionary, and we said that dictionary is a collection. It's a non-linear collection, okay, which is unordered. Unordered, mutable collection. Okay, that means the values in the dictionary are not ordered like our list or tuple, because in list and tuple we know which is first value, which is second value, but obviously here we don't know. So for example, we created a D1 which is like okay, curly bracket, and we add index. Index could be 10 colon, and let's say we say 1, right? Or you say 20 colon 2, right? Then we say 30 colon 3, for example. Okay, so this is an example of dictionary, and this is key. 10, 20, 30 are keys, and 1, 2, 3, these are your values. Now, values can be repeated, of course, but keys cannot be repeated, right? You cannot repeat a key. So let's say I want to store marks of 3 students. Okay, so I can calculate marks of student, okay, as a list. So, okay, let's say, okay, here I count, and we'll write a loop. Okay, now we have 3 students, and we'll store marks of 3 students in 3 subjects. Okay, so we have 3 students, so I'll put for I in range 3, right? And we have 3 subjects, so within this, we will put J in range 3. And here we are going to read the marks. I'm going to say marks equal to int of input, enter the marks, let's say. Okay, now see, I can create another list here which talks about this list of subjects. Now, list of subjects will be fixed, right? So let's say we put maths, physics, and let's say chemistry. Okay, we fix the subjects. Now enter the marks of now here it is okay, I can put F here, right? Enter the marks in okay physics, right? So how do I get physics? I will say here I'll put list 1, okay, not just list. Okay, so I'm going to enter the marks in list of okay 0. Now list of 0, I can act instead of 0, I'll put J here. Okay, so J will become 0, so I will get list of 0. Then when J becomes 1, I'll get list of 1. When J becomes 2, I'll get list of 2. So enter the marks in list. Okay, so that way I don't have to remember which subject it is. It automatically it will say 0, so maths. Okay, 1, so it is physics, and 2 for chemistry. Okay, now here I need to store this in a marks list or something like that. So I'm going to say marks list dot append, and I'll say marks. Okay, so end of this J loop, you will have this list filled with 3 values, 3 marks. Okay, now once we are done, now we need to create a dictionary where we'll attach these marks. Okay, now we also need to have maybe name or roll number or whatever, right? So let's take roll number here. So I'm going to say T equal to here, okay, or yeah, let it be key, and I'll say input, enter the roll number of the student. Enter the roll number. So roll number is in key, and marks list has the marks. So now I'm going to create here, okay, your let's say dictionary here. Okay, so I'm going to say list or marks list, we have it here, right? I'm going to say students marks or something. So this is dictionary. Here we are going to add key as key and marks list as values. So, okay, you need to first form a temp dictionary, which is like key colon, and you have marks list. Key colon marks list in T, and the T should be updated to your marks list. So I'm going to say marks list dot update. Update is adding another dictionary to the existing dictionary. Update is updating existing dictionary, another dictionary to this main dictionary. So main dictionary is empty and T is created every time we run this loop. Now, once you create this temporary dictionary, this should be added to your marks. Okay, so after this loop, hopefully you can actually see details of marks, or you will have the roll number and the marks. Okay. So if I run it now, roll number of student, let's say I give 101. Okay, maths mark 67, 78, 89. Okay, roll number of student, I give 105. So you have maths mark like 69, 71, 90. Okay, roll number of student 110. Okay, maths mark 90, 45, 76. Okay, so you see, this is the entire dictionary that you have created. Okay, I'll just paste it here so that you know. Okay, so this is how you can update existing dictionary to a dictionary. Okay, now what I want you to do is, okay, as an assignment, okay, try over the next week and we will verify it next Saturday, is to create something like this and then extend it to extend the above program to find total of each student, highest marks obtained among the given students, give roll number of topper of each subject. Okay, so it's like using for loop. Okay, so this is going to test your for loop. Okay, so you'll create something like this. Once you create this, going through key and values, okay, and getting this. Okay, so try this. This is your assignment for today. Okay, now we'll go back to our D1 and see what all things we have done and what all we have not done. Update we have done, right? We just now. Then pop. So pop is to remove a value, existing value from the dictionary. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to yes. Yeah. So I'll move this to another file. Okay. So this is like 7th October 2023, right? Okay. So I'll share this in the location later. So pop, you give 20. When you say pop 20, obviously, when you print D1, exactly. Okay. So 20 is gone. So then similarly, you have D1 dot. Okay. Clear will remove everything. Pop item will remove any value. Okay. By definition, it removes any value. What it does is it actually removes from your last updated. Okay, so last value is removed. Okay, so last value is removed. So if I run this, which value will be removed? Yes. Okay. Then values, keys, items we got. Okay. Now, last topic which I want to do before we can wrap up this is difference between equal to and copy. Okay, so if I say D2 equal to D1 and D3 equal to D1 dot copy. What do you think is the difference? Same we did in the list as well. Exact same thing. Remember?
Yeah.
What is the difference? Now let's say I keep adding new stuff to D1. Update. Okay. I'll add 40:4. I add 50:5. Okay. Now, when you print these,
D2 is equal to D1 जब रखेंगे तो it will be exact same copy और वो immutable नहीं होगा एक बार जब copy हो जाएगा. D3 is equal to D1 dot copy जब करेंगे तो जब D1 edit करेंगे तो D3 भी edit हो जाएगा.
ulta. Okay, so D1 and D2 are like name given to same dictionary. तो जब आप D1 को change करोगे, D2 will also reflect same thing. D2 को change करोगे, D1 will also reflect because they are pointing to the same thing. So if we both point to same object, so if you color it paint, if you color it to let's say different paint to say red, दोनों बोलेगा red है. Okay, because both are pointing to the same data. So that's what I did. I added something to D1, like we added 40 and 50 to D1. So D2 automatically got 40 and 50 because they are pointing to the same location or same value. D3 is like create a copy and move on. So it'll create a duplicate copy. Duplicate copy is created, but there's no linkage to D1 after that copy is created. After the copy is created, there is no linkage to D1. Okay, so this is what we do in dictionary. Okay, so dictionary is again very powerful. And here, so if you have keys, like you have roll number, you have some primary key, okay, using which you want to store some data, then instead of using list or tuple, dictionary is useful. Okay, so another advantage of using dictionary is that in list you can get confused, right? If you have multiple data, then which value which data belongs to. See, advantage is that it has added its own order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But where you want to link it, let's say in this case only, you want to link it to student. So you know, okay, 101 is this, or 102 is this, or here 40 is this, 50 is this. But in list, you cannot. It's like all jumbled up, right? So they all have their own advantage. So based on your objective, you will be using these collections or data structure, we call them. Okay. So with that, we complete our dictionary. The next topic is called set theory. Now, where set is used, okay? Look at this. If I ask you to name 5 fruits, and you tell me apple, 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 apple 5 times, is that correct?
No.
No, right? But if you are saving this as list, tuple, or dictionary, it will have 5 different values. So it is as if you have given 5 different values. But what set does is it removes the duplicate values. Okay. Now, if I ask you, name 3 cities. Okay. You name Delhi, Bombay, Kolkata. I name Kolkata, Bombay, Delhi. Are they not same? Even though the order is different. Because see, I asked you to name three fruits or three cities. Okay. So the order will not matter, right? So some situation where order and duplicate, like order doesn't matter, but duplicate should not be allowed. We call them as set data. They are like your set data. Okay. Set data means duplicate not allowed and order doesn't matter. For example, when you write question paper, right, doesn't matter in which order you write points, right? I cannot say that no. See, Kolkata should come first, Delhi should come second, so I'm going to give you 0 marks. I cannot say that. You'll say you asked me to name three, I name three. It doesn't matter in which order you have. So set is a unordered collection. Okay, it's unordered collection. This is also mutable. So this is unordered collection where duplicates values are not allowed, and the values here are only for representation purpose, right? Is only for representation purpose. It's exactly the same thing that you have done in your maths class earlier, right? In your schools. So set is a collection, unordered collection, where the value is used to represent something, right? So that's why you cannot have 2 5s, because if you want to represent 5, 1 5 is enough. Okay, you don't need to send 3 or 4 or 5s to represent 5. And it doesn't matter in which order you stand. Okay, as long as you are there, you are in, right? Now, let's say this setup itself. It doesn't matter where you are sitting. You are in. If you are in the class, you're in the class. Doesn't matter which setup you are, where you are. Correct. So set is used to store values, okay, position without impacting the order. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see how we implement this using Python. Now, when you are using Python here, okay, we use set, okay, we declare set using curly bracket. Now dictionary is also used using curly bracket. Okay. Now, so when you use just curly bracket, empty set, and when I try to do the type of set 1, see, so far Python doesn't know what you want to do, right? So Python will say this is dictionary only. But if I add a value here, 5, now Python knows, okay, so value has been added, but this does not have key. So if it is no key, if there is no key in the dictionary concept, then it's a set. So if I had used 1:5, this would have become dictionary. And since I'm using just 5, it has become set. So set looks like your tuple and list, but it has no order. Okay, so if I say 5, 8, 12, and if I try to print, okay, you should not go by the order. Okay, it's, see, I gave 5 at 12, but it printed 8, 12, 5. Because for set, there's no meaning of value, so you cannot rely on the order. And when you want to rely on the order, you don't have to use set. Use set only when you don't need to worry about the order. Okay, so okay, it does not give importance to order, but all your values will be there. Okay, now what happens if I give 8? Okay, I give 5. Okay, it is going to ignore the duplicates. Okay, duplicates are not allowed. Order is not important for.
There is a random or duplicate removal का एक साथ कर रहा है.
हाँ, okay, random and duplicate removal एक साथ कर रहा है. And as I said, right, you use where order is not important, right? You use where order is not important.
ऐसे कौन से cases होते हैं?
मैंने बोला ना अभी, if I want you to give me list of 5 cities, right?
So the order can be anything.
Obviously, right? And you cannot tell me Bombay 5 times. देखो मैंने 5 दिया. You want 10? I'll give you 10. Bombay 10. Right?
Yeah.
So it is used to represent the data. It is used to represent the data. Okay, so this is your set. So there are some set operations. Okay, before we get into operation, let's look at some methods like how to add set. So if I say set one dot, so you forget about update. Okay, update is again adding a new set to it. Okay, so if I add 1, 2, 3, okay, and you print set one here. Okay, so see 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 12. Okay, you can add values to a set. Then you have set one dot pop. Pop is to remove. Since there is no order, right? It will remove any one pop. So I ask you, give me 5 names of cities. They said, no, don't give me 5, give me only 4. So you will say pop. So say anyone you remove, because all 5 are cities. Anyone you remove, I will get 4 cities. So you'll say pop, and pop can remove anything. Okay. So for example, I can print here. After pop. Okay, it removed 1. Okay, any one value can be removed here.
पॉप का जो बेसिक है वो फर्स्ट वाला रिमूव कर देते हैं।
नहीं ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, क्योंकि फर्स्ट क्या मालूम नहीं है ना, यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हो कि पहले 1, 2, 3 है, करेक्ट. Okay, so this is how to remove value from pop. Now you can convert set to list or tuple. Okay, you can see we have seen can convert list to tuple, tuple to list. You can convert list to set, set to list, set to tuple, tuple to set. All these 3 things are interchangeable among itself. Okay, so let's say I have a list. Okay, so I go here, I have L1. Okay, and I have values like 5, 10, okay, 15, 15, 15, 20, 20, 20, 20. Let's say this is your L1, where these are the values that it has, right? Now, if I have to remove duplicates from here, I can simply say L1 equal to set of L1, and then I can convert it back into list, because ultimately L1 is list one. Okay, so when you say L1 dot, okay, so see these are all properties of a list. Index, inserts, reverse, right, extend. These are all properties of your list, right? And when you print L1, okay, it will have duplicates gone. So, okay, the best way to remove duplicates from your list is to, okay, do list of and gone. Okay, so this is your set. Now let's look at some of the set operations. What are the operations that you have discussed so far in your class, in your in your school days? You have a set like this, let's say. Okay, and you have another set. Join nahi hai. These are 2 sets together, right? So we are okay. So join is also part of set operations. Okay, Join is that when you are joining two things together. Here, if you see this set, okay. Okay, this circle, first circle is your set one. Second is a set two, right? So I call this as, let's say, A and B. You have operation called union, right? So when you say union, what does that mean?
Common portion of set A and B.
Common portion of set A and B, right? So common portion of set A and B is, so if I use this light color to shed, okay, yeah, all three. Okay, so this is your union, right? Union means combined portion, right? Now, again, let's take A and you take another B. Now, if you want to do intersection, so you have A intersection B. A intersection means what is the common part? Okay, this is your intersection part.
यूनिट में पूरा आ जाएगा
पूरा।
इंटरसेक्शन में केवल जो दोनों
Join,
में कॉमन
common है. Only common है. Okay, so this is called your intersection, right? Union intersection. Then we do minus difference. Okay, now difference A minus B, okay, is different than B minus A. So if I draw a set here, and if I draw another set here, okay, so you have A minus B. So let's say I have chocolates, okay, and you want to say remove oranges, take all the oranges from him. Now, if you want to take all the oranges from me, can you take any orange from me?
because
No.
we have chocolate.
I have chocolate, so you can't remove oranges,
But
right? So you can't remove. So if I have chocolates and oranges, and you say, okay, take away all the oranges and apples. So you can only take away oranges. You cannot take away apples because I don't have apple. And anyway, you are not interested in chocolates, so you can't take away chocolates. So I'll be left only with chocolate. So, okay. So you have A, and I'm saying, okay, A minus B. So this entire thing is A, but you are taking away B part. So B part is which is common, oranges you are taking away. Right? So other thing you are not taking away, oranges only you are taking away. So this is your A minus B. Okay. Now again, if I go and plot two sets, I said B and I say, okay, let's put A only. Okay, so A minus B. So you have, so this is your, okay, B. This is your B, and this is your A, right? Just like this. All are like A and B here, right? This is your A, this is your B. This is your A, this is your B. This is your A, this is your B. Right, same thing, you have A and B here, right? Now I'm saying here, B minus A. So I'm saying from B, okay, who has oranges and apples, take away oranges. So you'll be left with only apples.
third को reverse हो जाएगा.
Right? Not only reverse, the common part will never come. Right? So this is your B minus A. Then we have one more thing here, which is called as symmetric difference. Okay, symmetric difference means it is A minus B and B minus A together. Symmetric difference. This is your A and this is your B. So this is like symmetric of A minus A, B. Now it is same as symmetric of
B minus A.
B minus A. Okay, now A minus B is not same as B minus A. A minus B is not same as B minus A. B minus A is not same as A minus B. But symmetric of A minus B is same as symmetric of B minus A. And that is equal to your this one. Okay, this is symmetric of A minus B. All right. So now let's see this using program.
Semantic is definition क्या बोलेंगे मतलब फिर ऐसे बोलना
Symmetric of symmetric difference बोलते हैं, symmetric difference. The symmetric difference बोलने से automatically it means that whatever is common between you know
Both of them
two will go away.
will go.
Yeah. So I'm saying take away oranges and apple from me. You think take away oranges and chocolate from me. So you'll have chocolate and apple left.
जैसे एक लिस्ट वन में 5 है, लिस्ट टू में भी 5 एक कॉमन वर्ड है, अगर वो सिमेंटिक करेंगे तो 5 हट जाए.
5 हट जाएगा. Yes. So we'll see this. Okay. So let's say I put set 1 as your 1, 3, 5, 7, and we'll put 6 here. 6 and 8. Okay. Here we'll say set. We'll put 6 only by 8. Now set 2, we will say 2, 4, 6, 8, and we'll put 7 here. Okay. So now I can say here print. Okay, I'll put here print union. So let's print all this. Okay, union. Then we say intersection.
Set
Right. We'll say set 1 minus set 2. We will say
set 2 minus set 1.
and we'll say okay, and we'll say 2 minus 1 also. So just to show you that they are same. Okay, so union. Okay, so there are 2 ways to do it. One, you say set 1 dot union set 2. Or you say print set 1 and this pipe sign. Enter के ऊपर जो है set 2. So union means, okay, are we printing set 1, set 2? No, right?
No.
Let's print it here. So set 1, set 2. 1, 3, 5. Okay, so 1, 3, 5 will come. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6 will come. Okay. Okay, 7 and 8 will come. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so duplicate, all values are there, but duplicate is there only once, not twice. But all values are there. All the values from set 1 and set 2 will be there. Now, when you go to intersection, okay, 1, instead of union, we will have intersection. Okay, and here you put ampersand and sign. So common between them are 7 and 8, or 6 and 7, right? Not 7 and 8. So these are your set. Okay, so 6 is common and 7 is common. So you will have 6 and 7. That's intersection. You can do dot intersection or simply ampersand.
ampersand ऊपर keys में कहाँ पे है?
And ऊपर वो आपका
Seven.
7 के ऊपर, yes. Right? Okay, then A minus B. So you use minus sign only, and function you use as difference. So I'm going to say here difference, and I'll say set 1 minus set 2.
नीचे वाला better है?
So नीचे वाला भी, it is set 2 minus set 1, correct? Set 2 minus set 1. Union intersection A union B or B union A are same. Intersection A intersection B or B intersection A, same. But difference is not like that. A minus B is not same as B minus A. So see here, A minus B, you got 135, and here you got 824. Okay. Now symmetric difference. So, okay, so I'm going to put this one here and this one here, and say, you will say here, symmetric difference. You will say here, symmetric difference, and this is upward key. Okay, middle alignment, which is your 6 ke upar wala. Okay. So it will be union of these two. So you get 135 and 824. 135 and 824. Okay. So these are your 4 major operations. Okay. Union, intersection, difference, and symmetric difference. Now you also have symmetric difference update. Okay, difference update, intersection update, union update. Union update is same as update. So what update does is, it updates the set. Now if I print the set 1 and set 2 value, set 1 and set 2 values are not changed here. Set 1 and set 2 values are never changed. Okay.
Performing operations like plus minus kind of.
Exactly. And when you do update, it is like saying set 1 equal to set 1 union set 2, or set 1 intersection set 2, set 1 equal to set 1 intersection set 2, set 1 equal to set 1 minus set 2, okay, or difference set 2. So update will update the main set. So if I do difference, symmetric difference update here, set 2 will be updated. If I do symmetric difference update here, set 1 will be updated. So if you want your set, value not to change,
We don't have to use update count.
exactly. But if you want it to change, you use update. Okay. So these are the functions. There are other couple of functions, okay, which are like is questions. So is will always give you what is result, true or false. Okay, so is disjoint, is joint, is super set, is subset.
तो सेट 1 और सेट 2 अर्थ नोट्स की एक जिसका जो टाइप है वो क्या है? So when we are writing set 1 dot, तो automatically ये functions
आ गया ना? Yes, yes. So you have one set like this, let's say. Okay, let me use black color. So you have one set here, and then you have another set here. Okay, so this is your and this is your A. Okay, so in this case, we say B is subset of A. B is subset. That means all the values of B is in A. So we say B is subset of A, or we say A is superset of B. Okay. Now you have also something called as joint and disjoint. So if I have a set here, A and B here, okay, these are disjoint. And all this on the top, all you see, these are all joint. Even this is joint. This is disjoint set. Make sense? So, okay, so now if I go here to our program, is A or B joint or disjoint?
Disjoint.
Set 1, set 2 are joint or disjoint? They are joint. If they are disjoint, you will not have any intersection between them.
Two values disjoint. Yes.
Right. So if I say here, print set 1 dot is disjoint. Disjoint set 2. Answer will be false. They are disjoint. If I say set 3 equal to or set 4 equal to 10, 20, 30. Now if I say print set 1 dot is disjoint set 4. Now when you run it, true, because you know set 1 does not have 20, 20, 10, 20, 30. So there is no common between them. So that's why they are disjoint. Okay, so these are your operations on set. Okay, we'll talk about a totally new topic, which is your functions. Right? So we know what is function now, right? What is function? How many functions have you used so far? So we have used print, input, len, correct? Type, int, float, list, dictionary, set. This example, we converted set to list, list to set, right? So these are all functions. Okay, so what is a function? Function is, it's a name that we give to a block of code. It's a name that we give to a block of code. So we write 3 or 10 or 100 lines of code, and we say, okay, these 10 lines of code or these 100 lines of code will be called as print. What is the significance of doing that? So significance of renaming or calling it as a different name is whenever you want to call that person, if you know the name, you can call, right? See, why do we name someone? Now, let's say if we both are meeting for the first time and we don't want to meet again, let's say for some reason, then we don't need to know the name. But if you want to, let's say we'll interact again and again, then you need to know the name, right? It's the same thing. So far, okay, whatever programs that we have done, we never had to call the previous code. Okay, we were like always busy with your current block of code, current code. But now, let's say you want to call an existing block of code. So you have some code, okay, and you want to call it again. It's something like loop, but the difference here is in loop, you're calling it immediately. Immediately, you're calling 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. But here, for example, print, we're not calling them immediately. You know, it could be print, could be line number 1, and then in line number 20, then line number 100, right? So whenever we want, the function should be available. Those blocks of code should be available. Okay, that is the function. So we write it once, but we use it multiple times at multiple places. Okay, so it has actually 3 types of functions. We have something called as predefined functions or inbuilt functions. Okay, so far we have used all inbuilt functions. That means it has a predefined meaning. Okay, we never had to bother knowing what is inside. Okay, we simply used it whenever we felt like using it, we use it. We don't have to worry about how it is implemented. But now we will see how to write our own functions. We call it as UDF, user defined functions. We create our own functions. And then there's a specialty of Python. This is not there in most of the languages. It's called anonymous function or one-line function. Okay. Function is writing it once and using it multiple places, right? So you have a name, I have a name, right? So if I need to talk to you, I will call you by name so that you know that, okay, I'm talking to you. So I cannot change you, right? If I need to create, okay, if I need to create another function, which is different from the function that already function 1 has, then I will write another function. And in that function, I will do whatever I want to do, right? Yeah. So you have, okay, so one-line function is about 1 line. Okay, so implementing code in 1 line. Okay, so see, we have 1 line for loop, 1 line if conditions. Okay, we have 1 line function. So for example, okay, since we are talking about 1 line, let's go and talk about this. Okay, 1 line loops. So okay, so let's say our logic is we have words here, and let's say words are like hello, how are you? Let's say you have words like hello, how are you? Okay, now I want to go through this and print it. Okay, or I want to go through this and let's say save it in another list. Okay, I will say words 2. Okay, so to save it in, okay, so the purpose is
words dot copy.
go through above list. Okay, see, in future we'll see the real application. This is just to show you, how it is done. So go through words list and save to another list. Okay, or for example, okay, go through you have words like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, so go through above list and save them, each of them as separate list, right? So how will we do it generally is we use words 2 here like this. Then we will say for, okay, character or word, okay, in words 2 dot append W, right? So now if you print words 2, if you print words 2 here, words 2, right? And comma here. Okay, so see, when you have only one line logic, see, it's called one line loop. So one line logic you have. So here our logic is only one line. So, okay, so this is one way, right? You can create a list with this. Okay, similarly, what I can do is, if it is just one line, okay, I can say here, W, okay, or I'll say for W in words. Okay, for W in words, I'm going to get W in words. This will give me output as W. But I don't want W. What I want
Words too.
okay, so this is a list of W. So you're getting W, but I want list of W. So I'll put a list here like this. Okay, and I will assign it to words 3, let's say. That's it. Now when you print words 3, okay, you will get it. So what I did for W in words, so this is going to give me W as output. Okay, and I do it. Now, if you want some logic here, you can apply some logic here. If you want to do, multiply, divide, whatever, anything you can do here. So this is called one line loops. You apply it. If you have logic which can be implemented in one line, you can actually do in one line itself. Okay, similarly, you have one line functions. Okay. We have one line conditions. Okay, so one line condition is you want to print if it is even or odd, let's say, for example. So you have a num1, 5, check if it's odd or even. So I will do if num1 modulo 2 equal to 0. So if num1 modulo 2 equal to 0, then what it is? Even.
Yes.
So I will go and write even here. And else odd, right? So else odd you write here. Okay, and then this you can put it as a result here. And you can print it as a result. Print num1 is result. Okay, 5 is odd. If I make it 50, it becomes even. Okay, so this is how you can implement loops and condition in one line. And we will see, not today, maybe if we get time tomorrow we will see how to do one line. Okay, and we have a lot of examples which I want to do. We'll revisit list. Okay, there are 3 properties of list, okay, which we will implement using one line functions: map, filter, and reduce. Okay, so we'll talk about map, filter, reduce towards end of tomorrow. Okay, so this is how you do one line loops and conditions. Okay, I'm going to move this.
So,
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah, in that word 2 and word 3,
Uh-huh.
are they same?
Yeah, same, no?
But how it will be like word 2 you have wrote for loop.
That's what I'm
And
saying. This for loop can be implemented like this.
but how
One-line
they
loop.
will understand W means we have not
For
assigned.
W in words, what you will get? You'll get W, correct? So I'm putting W here. So W is output of W in words. And then you are saving as a list.
This one I'm not
This
able to
entire thing
understand.
can be written like one word here, one line here. That's why we say one line, loop. Okay.
But I'm not able to understand that one. That logic, how to
You understood this, right?
why.
The
First
shaded part.
one
Did you
I
understand the
understood,
shaded part?
not this one.
Did you understand the shaded part? Yes or no?
Okay, that for loop, yeah.
No. Answer to me, yes or did you understand the shaded part? The one that I've shaded here.
W we
मैंने shade
yeah,
कितना
W
किया
we
वो
have
बताओ
just
ना आप. Did
assigned
you
a
understand this part or not? No, I don't want sentence. Yes or no? Shaded part, shaded part.
I
Did you understand
guess
the shaded part?
I guess yes.
मैंने जो guess नहीं, you think and tell me. जो मैंने select किया, did you understand this or not?
Uh, हम्म, अगर मैं इसको रिपीट
अरे
करूं
this
तो
is
आप
same
बता
as
सकते
this,
हैं मैं
no?
सही समझी कि नहीं?
This is
हाँ,
same as this, yes or no? Line number
ओके
86 से
यस
बड़ा यही है ना? 86 में तो यही है.
हाँ हाँ हाँ
Did you understand this?
हाँ
सोच ही बताओ.
हाँ हाँ समझ गए.
हाँ, right? So we are taking each letter from the words. Words is a string. So string में
ओके
से हम एक word ले रहे हैं, एक character ले रहे हैं.
यस
We are taking each is एक character. A, then
हाँ
B, then C, then D, then E, then F, then G. So this W is
यस
going to be what? A, B, C, D, E, F. And then we are putting inside a list here. Square bracket is a list. So A, B, C, D जो आ रहा है W, it got all added as a list.
सो ऑलरेडी वंस वी हैव रोट लाइक एक बार तो फॉर डब्ल्यू लिखे हैं तो फिर दोबारा डब्ल्यू लिखने का क्या जरूरत है? वहां
Output
पे तो
चाहिए
रीड
ना.
कर
See,
रहा है.
first this W is to read. This is to
ओके
read. This W is for output.
ओके
Okay. Now you can put W into 2. तो ये
Okay.
W आ रहा है, A, B, C, D आ रहा है. Now I'm saying into 2. So it becoming A,
Okay,
A,
that-
B, B. Okay, I have to run this one, right? So okay, so this W is to read each character from the string. A,
Okay.
B, C, D. W is A, B, C, D. Now for the output, I'm saying W into 2. A into 2, B into 2, C into 2, A, B, B, C, C.
Mhm.
So this is to read each character. And what do you want to do ultimately? I want to multiply. I want to do the twice of that character.
Okay.
तो ये output के लिए है और ये read करने के लिए है.
Okay. Now I got it.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
I'll put it here. Okay. Okay. Now we're back to functions. So I said function is a body, okay, a body of code with a name. So let's say I put here print. Okay. How are you? Okay. Before that, let's say we put who are you? Okay. After this, I put where are you? Now I have 3 lines of code, right? So when I say P11, you run it, you get these 3 lines. Okay. So these are 3 lines of code. Now I want to give it a name. So how do we give it a name? I'm talking about user-defined function. So I'm going to give it a name using def keyword. Def 3 sentences. I call it a 3 sentences. So this is the syntax. Syntax means rule, okay? You have to understand this. Def space the name that you want to give. I'm naming it. I'm naming it at 3 sentences. Def 3 sentences. Bracket open and close. Colon. And then you give a tab space here. So 3 sentences is what I want to give. So okay, so I want to define it. I want to define it. So def 3 sentences. And okay, since it's a function, it will always have simple open and bracket. Def name followed by open and bracket function colon. Why colon? Colon indicates beginning of a block, isn't it? We did that in the list. We did that in the if beginning of a block. So I'm saying colon beginning of function block. And within this, I'm adding 3 sentences. Within this, I'm adding 3 sentences. These are who are you, how are you, where are you. So this is how you define a function. Okay. This is how you define a function by name. I'll copy and paste here. So since it's a function, I'll put bracket open and close. Define a function, 3 sentences. Okay. Now when I run it, what happens? Nothing happens. Why nothing happens? Because I have only defined it. I'm not calling it. Okay, your parents have named you. Okay, so when they name you, you have a name. You will not respond yes, 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 right? It's only name that is given to you. If I call you only, you will respond. Right? So function definition is different, calling is different. So when you talk about inbuilt function like your print, input, and all those type, these are all defined. But they're not getting called automatically. We have to call it. I want to call. How do you call a function? You call a function by name, 3 sentences, bracket open and close. That's it. So now when you call it, okay, these 3 lines will be called. Can I call you by your name before you are given a name? No. Okay, first you have to define it, then only I can call it. So these 3 sentences function, I cannot put it here because it says not defined. Right? I can only call you once you are given a name. Right? So first you define it. Once you define it, only then you can use it. So function definition, it has to be before and calling has to be later.
तो डिफाइन करने उसके लिए प्रिंट कमांड देना क्यों जरूरी है?
प्रिंट करने के लिए प्रिंट देना है ना. Whatever you see, if I call you, you will call. Okay, this will be executed. But what should it do? It should print. So that's why it's printing. I'm saying, okay.
Understood.
I'm saying, okay, I put take over. So I'm saying 3 sentences take over. 3 sentences will take over, but what will it do? It will say, okay, printing, printing, printing.
तो जब भी एक तरह से हम लोगों ने एक फंक्शन डिफाइन किया है, वहां बोल रहे हैं कि जब भी हम वो बोलेंगे तो ये चीज प्रिंट होनी है. प्रिंट के अलावा कुछ और भी हो सकता है. Can be anything.
जितना कुछ हमने सीखा अभी तक कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Okay.
Right? जितना कुछ भी सीखा, you can put if, for loop, you can use list, tuple, dictionary, everything can be there. So I told you, see, the core logic is only condition and loops. Okay, whatever we are learning after that, there's a list hua, string hua, now we're talking about functions. These are how to implement it better. Your core logic is all about if and for loop. So you have to practice if and for loop to understand the function programming. After that, it is all about making it better. Okay, it is all about how to do it better with less number of code, with more user friendliness, etc., etc. Okay, so 3 function. I told you block of code. It can be anything. You can write a function to find a prime number. So we already done prime number example. Just put it and give it a name. 3 sentences done. So 3 sentences is a function name. Okay, so first we have defined it and now we are using it. Okay, so this is what we say function. But of course, there are a lot of properties of functions that we are going to see next. Okay, so now let's say I want to pass some value here. I want to say who are you based on who am I talking to. Okay. Got hanged for some reason. What happened? Just give me a second. My PyCharm is not responding. Yeah, I think it's better now. Still it's not selecting. Okay, so I don't know why I removed the power cable because it was overcharged. Now, not responding. I want to pass in here three. Three sentences, I call it as V1, let's say. Okay, and I want, okay, I want, when somebody calls, right? I want this guy to pass some name here. Okay, and then this function should call, who are you, Mr. Sachin? Okay, I'll put Mr. here. Who are you, Mr. Sachin? How are you, Mr. Sachin? Where are you, Mr. Sachin? So this is the value that I want to pass. So if I want to pass a value, of course, I can pass a value, three sentences value, like print also we give, right? Input can work without any value. Input can work with some value, right? So I'm saying three sentences, Mr. Sachin. So now this will be read as a variable. I can give it a name, variable name or whatever. So I'm passing Mr. Sachin to this function. I'm passing this function to function, then it has to catch it. Otherwise, it will throw error. So if I don't give, okay, I'm talking about V1, okay? I say V1. Now, when you run it, okay, it says three sentence V1 takes 0 positional arguments. So what is positional? We'll talk about it tomorrow. So hold on for positional. Important thing is it takes 0 arguments, but one was given. I'm passing a value, but it is not accepting any value. You need to have something to accept the value. So now var name will take the value, whatever you give here, Mr. Sachin. Okay, so var name is here. I can actually, put it something like this. I can say F, who are you? Okay, comma, var name, right? And I'm going to put this for all of these, let's say. Right? So I'm using variable. Now, advantage of this variable is that I'm controlling the value. See, you don't control, function is written once, right? But now I'm controlling the value that is given to that function. Okay, now here if I want to print something else, let's say Miss Sindhu, let's say. Okay, now when I run it, same function, same text, but I'm controlling this value here, isn't it? I'm controlling the value. So this is called function with one argument. There is no 0 argument. Here it is 1 argument. And I'm passing the value to this argument. And this function is using this value to do whatever it wants to do here. This is called passing a value to a function. You call the function. These are all different, defining the value. Def is for defining the functions. Okay, your functions are getting defined. Your functions are getting defined. Here, I'm calling the function. These are all calling the functions. Okay, so when you define the function, it can take some variables, which we need to pass from, pass to the function when we call those functions. When we call those functions, we will use it. Make sense? Okay, let's take one more example here. So I'm writing a function called addition.
1 second, Saurabh.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we will not write this 3 sentence V and will in the place of var name, we won't keep anything, then will it cause error or it is okay, it will run anyway?
When we do what?
This when we call three sentence v1
Mhm.
or we won't keep var name.
Mhm.
So will it throw an error or
Yes.
it will pass?
No, it will throw error. Okay.
Okay.
So like last time we said, it said that it accepts 0 argument, but you gave 1. This time it will say it wants 1 argument, but you gave none.
Okay.
Right? So if it takes
Yes.
1, you have to give 1. If it takes 0, then you have to give none. Okay. Okay. So now I'm saying define addition. I'm writing a function called addition, and here I want to add 2 variables. I want to call it as num1, comma num2. Now here addition will take 2 values, and I'm going to say here add equal to num1 plus num2. Okay. Now I will say print addition is add. Okay. So here what I will do, I will call this function addition, and I will say 10 comma 20. So when I pass 10 comma 20, it goes here. Okay. And it says addition is 30. Okay. All good so far. But now let's say that you don't want to display, or you don't want to display in this format. You want to display in different format. Now this displays addition is 30. But if I want to display in different format, okay, or I want to use it for something else, okay, this is just an intermediate step. I need to pass it to something else. Probably this function becomes useless. Correct? Because this function is printing addition. I don't want to print it. Okay. I want to take it and use it somewhere else. So, okay. So what happens is when you define a function, your objective, your mindset has to be to make it usable by multiple programs, multiple ways. Okay. So that's why it's not a good idea to have a print here. Okay. So you asked me what print. Okay. I was showing you print only to demonstrate the working of functions. 99.999%, okay, I can say 100%, your function should not have print. One, the user may not want to print. Second, if the user wants to print, it might wants to print in different way. I might want to print in different way. You might want to print in different way. But if function starts printing in same way, then it becomes usable, right? If function is there, it does all the hard work, but just because it is printing, I cannot use it. So in this case, what I will do, I will say what is called as return add. So you're calculating and you're returning it back to the calling function. I'm saying, okay, you want me to add 2 numbers. I have added it. Now you take it back. I am adding it, or I am throwing it back to the user. Okay. So you will say here ADD equal to. Why ADD equal to? When it is throwing back to you, you need to catch it. When addition throws back, returns back add, how do you catch it? There has to be a mechanism to catch it, right? This is the mechanism. Variable name. And you can use any variable. It will not be add. Okay, it can be result. Doesn't matter what you do. It can be result. It can be result equal to addition. Now you are sending back, okay, the result in from the function, and you need to have a variable here in the main program to catch the value. Make sense? So now it's up to you, whatever you want to do it. I want to print it after this. I want to print it later. I want to use it. So this result has the value. You do whatever. I don't print. Nothing happens. Okay. But result has the value. Now I can say print output is. Output is. Okay. Result. Okay. I can say print I got result sweets, chocolates, whatever. So you print it the way you want to print it. Output is 30, I got 30 sweets, whatever you want to print. So you return the value and you capture the value and you use it the way you want to. Right? So in set, again, if you remember, we did, was it here? Right? So you simply say set 1 union, right? I could have said set 3 equal to and set 1 union set 2 and then printed set 3. Okay, so that is like getting the value and saving it to new variable. So result equal to addition. So addition means addition function is throwing, giving back, returning some value which I'm saving in return result. And now it's up to you. You want to display it, you want to use it somewhere else, you want to not use it at all, up to you. I can check it. Okay, I can check if result is greater than 0, then you say I cannot say I got -5 chocolates, right? Or -5 sweets. I'll check if result is greater than or equal to 0, only then you do it. All these things is in your hand now. So where you want to do it, you can do it. All right. So this is introduction to function. There are a lot of things in the function we have to do. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll talk about different types of functions. We also have to talk about local and global variable. So tomorrow when we meet, we'll talk about local and global variable first, and then we'll get down to using different types of functions. Okay. So positional argument, keyword arguments, default arguments, different number of arguments. You can create such a way that function can take 1 or 10 or 100 or 0 number of arguments. So today we have seen the function has to take exactly 1 or exactly 2. In this case, if I give 1 also, it will throw error. If I give 3 also, it will give error. But there's a mechanism for it to take only 1. Okay, so all those things we'll discuss tomorrow. All right. So any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we'll stop here.